Hello, welcome to Arcade Couch, best place to chill with friends and get your game guns each and every Monday. My name's John Blight. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, John. Excited to be here and talk about how DLC is not a game.
Elsie here, Kieran Marchant.
Guys, I worked it out. I'm not an Xbox.
How'd you work it out? No sticker?
I plugged in an Xbox Kinect controller.
Yeah.
And it didn't do anything. So I'm not an Xbox.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't here last week, I'm with Kieran. I think it's a very cool marketing campaign. So.
Yes. Thank you. For stating the obvious other than downer.
Because I had to listen to you argue about it for 10 minutes. I'm like...
Did we? I don't know if we argued.
Yeah, it was fucking you being you and just keep like throwing in random things and then Kieran being like, just shut up. Yeah. All right. A couple of games we'll talk about this week, and then we'll talk about the game we nominees. You said your predictions last week. Did you write down the predictions, Ash? Because I don't know if you can tell me who won.
No, I did not.
Have you got that information written down somewhere?
No.
I don't know. You ran it, man.
So what was the point of doing that whole segment then? What was the fucking point?
Have you not got...
Who cares? It's not about who wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except for if you win. Suddenly then it is...
Yeah, that's
because you weren't involved and it was only me and Kieran, suddenly it doesn't matter anymore. I'm going to say now...
I'm pretty sure...
You need to work that shit out before next week is all I'm going to say. Fucking... What a disappointment.
Listen, depending on the order of things, I might figure it out before.
But we'll talk. I got to talk about Call of Duty after this. But we'll go over game names. We'll start with Stalker. So Stalker 2 came out. Shadow of Chornobyl. Long delayed, long in development. Made during a war-torn country in Ukraine. Somehow they put out the game. Crazy. I've played, I don't know, 3-4 hours. I think about that. I think I've probably played more than my game file says because it doesn't track you when you die. Like the time doesn't carry on and you die a lot. So yeah. Kieran, how much have you played? Have you touched this? Have you watched anything?
I've watched bits and pieces of it and I've listened.
Okay.
I haven't been able to play any this week.
What's your reaction to the
I think, to be honest, it's because I was talking to a friend who's gotten heavily into it yesterday. I think the thing that it's just the state of the game that maybe has made me put it on the back burner this week of just, hey, it does not sound like it's optimized very well. It doesn't sound like it is that it runs very well at all, not alone on Xbox or PC. But it still sounds like something I want to jump into, which makes me want to give it that time for them to put out patches and update it a little bit more so I can give it in its best possible state.
So that's why I feel like this is a very interesting one because I've had really no issues, but the narrative surrounding the game is all from the reviewers that everyone played it post that day one patch. And the day one patch apparently fixed a lot of the issues. But this is one of those games where I'm like, has the fact that they gave out a review code that was quite buggy, and that's led to a lot of people talking about how buggy it is, going to really negatively affect this one? Because more people like yourself are now.
The thing is, I don't think for me it wasn't necessarily the reviewers that did it. I thought my thing was seeing the response from the developers and their apology and their kind of re-emphasis on their dedication to fixing it and making it a better thing. I think if they'd come out and said, hey, a lot of the issues we fixed in day one patch, like, please give us a try. I probably would be a lot more interested in playing it this week and jumping onto it this week. But they didn't. They've kind of admitted and accepted that or at least kind of accepted what the general consensus is fact, which then kind of emphasizes that there are problems with the game that need to be worked on and fixed for anybody who hasn't played it yet.
There's definitely, I've seen a lot of people, like even saw Danny O'Dwyer like tweeting about how much he's enjoying the game, and like in the replies, he posted a gameplay clip and in the replies people were like saying about some bugs and stuff, and he's replying like, yeah, but it just reminds me of playing the original ones, and like that's part of the charm. So there's an element of people being like, I don't mind that sort of janky because
the original was yeah.
Like, sort of just how it goes. I mean, and also I think in my mind, the fact that this game, like, you know, considering where they've made it for the past couple of years and everything,
yeah, 100%.
I'm like,
and that's probably why I've still got the. Maybe anybody else, I would be like, oh, it's. I've missed the boat on this one because I don't really want to play it as buggy. I'm not interested. It's a this dev team's earned themselves some leeway and earned themselves some, you know, goodwill in terms of, hey, give you some time to fix it, and then, you know, I still want to play it or still purchase it and wait for it. Actually, that's what I'll do after this. Yeah, it's not on PC Game Pass though.
Yes, it is. That's how I've been playing it.
I swear, I looked yesterday and it wasn't.
No, I've not paid for it.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on PC Game Pass.
Why is my Game Pass lying to me?
That's how
Are you paying for Game?
Yeah, literally, because I was playing because literally last night I looked for a game to play and ended up playing Spyro because they've just added Spyro to it.
I don't know what to tell you.
What the fuck? All right, it's there.
I'm telling you, it's right there.
Ignore me, everything. I'm fucking installing it now.
All right, so my couple hours, I'll say I don't. Yeah, so all the major stuff
it's because for some reason my Xbox account has got restrictions on it.
Oh, why are you
What the fuck?
Why are you pirating stuff?
I shouldn't have. No. It's literally come up. This is rated above Ringo's restrictions. Stalker 2 Windows Edition is rated above the restrictions set on this account. To install, please. Yeah, to install, please ask an adult to sign in and download, or you can continue to browse hundreds of games in the store. My god,
that's why
sounds like a job for capable Kieran.
That's literally why it sounds like a job for capable Kieran. Fuck.
How the fuck do you even do that?
I don't know, because I've definitely played. I was playing Call of Duty the other day.
Yeah, but that's like M, isn't it?
Yeah, but like, because Call of Duty doesn't even show up on the list for me anymore.
Maybe someone's.
So this is something that's happened. This is definitely something that's happened.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah, no, this is 100% what's happened, because I've just pressed install on Call of Duty 6 again, and it says, nah, this is above your restrictions. What the fuck, Xbox?
Someone's hacked you.
That's fucking insane.
Put some child lock on you.
No, I did an update to Xbox Store yesterday, and I'm guessing that's what's fucked.
I don't know if that can just randomly happen, but if it could randomly happen, it would happen to you, so...
Actual fuck, where do I fix this? I'm gonna fix this right now. I literally looked for it yesterday and couldn't find it.
That's what I was like, what are you talking
and
about?
I was very confused, like, this. I swear this is a Game Pass game.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't pay for that shit. Fuck, what was I saying? Stalker. So I've played the original one. I didn't play the prequel game thing. It definitely reminds me of the first time playing that, which is, oh god, this is like, why am I dying so much? Why does everything hurt me in this game? Why does
everything hurt me?
You know, like that sort of just dread, I guess, of every single combat encounter where, you know, like every enemy could just kill you, and it sucks, but that's part of the game's thing. I definitely feel like that might be a turn-off point to some people, because the game is not, and I don't even think this is negative, it's towards the player base it's sort of trying to target. It's just the game starts and the most tutorial it gives you is like WASD to move, use the mouse, off you go. You know, like walk out into the zone. Oh, there's a thing, like there's a point where you come up against a I can't remember what they call them in the game, but like these really tough enemies that just like blink and appear out of nowhere and like maul you and basically can one shot hit you. And you're supposed to like run away from it, but the game doesn't tell you, you know? So you can just keep trying to beat it if you want or whatever. Like this isn't the sort of game that's going to handhold you and try to help you work out the decisions you make. Even once you get through the first 30 minutes of the game, which is sort of a on railsy type first walk through the zone, as they call it, or whatever, and then you get into the more open world and you're like sort of free to do whatever you want. It's like, here's the objective, there's a bunch of people, but then you'll even be walking up a path and it's like people are shooting at each other and you're like, should I stop and help them? Who do I help? Who should I shoot? Should I it is one of those games where, you can help someone and then that character might be like, thank you so much for helping me. I've got nothing to offer you, but like clap, and they might be able to give you a side mission, but you can just shoot them and loot their shit if you want to, like, and I know a lot of this is, you could be like, well, that sounds like Fallout and whatever. Like, it is definitely that element of those more open world games where you can nearly do everything you want within the confines of its world, and like every decision you make will just whatever, you might kill someone, lock off some quests, but if that's the road you want to go down, then it's the road you want to go down. But it's also, I think, what's going to catch a lot of people out, and there's two things that are really going to rob people the wrong way. And the reason I'm not like clamoring back to play it is because it does feel so much like my time playing the first one. And I don't have like a lot of nostalgia for I remember playing it at a friend's house for the first time and then borrowing his disc and like installing it on my PC. And like that's basically my memories for the game. I never finished it because it was too fucking hard. And like I remember wandering around the world. I remember the sounds and dystopian vibes and stuff like that. But if I'm thinking about playing it and just going, oh God, like I have to go do this mission where there's like 3 people with guns there, that sounds like the hardest thing ever. Like whether there's, another game, you're like, God, or you're like, man, I have to like do my next mission's like 1K away. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive walking that far because I may die from fucking radiation or not have enough food for that trip. And it's a game where there's no fast travel. It's a huge map. Your guns jam if they're not looked after. Like there's all these things, but there is a certain type of player base who, when they hear these certain sorts of things, like your guns jamming and but even that the survival elements in the game are so throwbacky. Like you don't have to. If this was a modern day, quote unquote, modern day survival game, you'd be setting up camp. You'd be cooking food there. There'd be different recipes, all the, these sort of things that you've come to expect different survival games. This game's like, hey, you're hungry? Yeah, there's a symbol next to your health bar that says you're hungry. Just eat food. What is food? Just random shit you pick up. You don't have to cook it. You don't like, so even its survival elements are pretty basic, but it's a certain type of gamer, I guess, is going to really get something out of this. Apparently it's long too, like 50 hours main quest, and the map is huge. I was like, good lord, no fast travel, no stuff like that. Every trip feels like hell. It's also a game where you've got all these anomalies around the world that can just suck shit up. Fucking lightning can kill you out of nowhere. Like, it's just a game that's consistently just made to piss you off. I don't know how. I think I died. I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Like, I swear in the first hour, I probably died 30 times. That's ridiculous. Like, it'd just be like, this one enemy just kept fucking killing me. I'm like, oh God, restart. Oh God, restart. They killed me. One shot killed me. Died. Oh God. So that was fun. Yeah. Have you seen anything about it on your timeline this week, Ash, or anything?
No, just, that it is buggy and, that's about it. That's, I don't think it's reviewed particularly well. It's sitting at a 74 on OpenCritic.
That's pretty good for...
I know. Do you feel like they should have sent out review codes? Like, they knew it was coming in so hot. Like, I know that in one of our Discord chats with a lot of freelancers, they're like, there seemed to be a patch every single day leading up to review that changed the quality of the game significantly. I think how do you review something like that?
I think if the day one patch fixed so many issues that the reviewers had, that they should have at least delayed it. Either delayed it or unfortunately just done that thing, which I know it pisses people off and it's usually a bad sign about a game. But maybe just don't give out review code until that patch is live.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, I know that's like, because then people start going, oh my God, this is a terrible sign. Because it usually is a terrible sign for a game. But if it's people like theorizing it could be bad and you don't have as many reviews up at launch, but then a lot of those reviews are negative compared to you've got people are now playing it and now getting up reviews like a week or so post launch, but at least the version there's playing is significantly less buggy. I don't know, but it's also weird.
Is it worth taking that day one hit?
Yeah,
and I guess for the longevity of like the open critic score being like 10-point difference. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or 5-point difference. Yeah.
It's also just confusing to me because apparently, this game comes out and the same week they choose to do avowed previews, right? And avowed previews, people are saying the game's really good. And there's even a lot of the previews where basically developers like, yeah, the game's done. We're just like working on some other stuff now. I'm like, I don't know, swap the release dates. If you're saying that avowed's done and you're fucking around on DLC or some shit, I don't know. Put Stalker out in February. Put this out now.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a third-party thing for a start.
Avowed?
Obviously, it's been... No. Stalker.
Oh, Stalker, yeah.
So, and it's already been delayed, what? 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah. I think they could have like pushed it another couple of weeks. They're in such a terrible predicament that I think a lot of rational people would have understood if they had to delay it again. But do rational people outweigh rational people in the audience anymore?
I don't think so. No, I think that's so. How you going there, Kieran?
I cannot find where the fuck I fixed this.
You're gonna have to message Xbox support.
Can you get Copal?
Xbox, I promise. I promise I'm
not even in a family group. Like, I'm not even in a family group with anybody to be fucking.
Send Xbox a picture of your driver's license to prove you're a real adult.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Real boy.
That's the thing. It was fucking. It's my date of birth and the fucking my account details and everything. So it's not like I'm it should see that I'm fucking 30 goddamn years old. Fuck.
How to turn off parental controls on a Microsoft account. Log into your Microsoft account. Find the family tab or section.
That's all right, but my family tab has fucking nothing in it.
Yeah, and this is locate the option to disable parental controls.
That's fucking helpful.
All right, let's read through the Game Award nominations then. I'm gonna skip the esports stuff because nothing's shocking, whatever. None of us really care. But I'll read up from there. Stop me when anything shocks you, which I know obviously it's going to be the Game Award nominees. So the best sports / racing game: F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, WWE 2K24. Is this not just the best 2K game category nearly?
The what?
It's nearly the best 2K game category.
I mean, half of those are EA games.
What? EA Sports? NBA,
EA Sports and F1. So 2 out of 5.
3 out of 5 are 2K games. Is the glass half empty or half full?
I don't know. I think the surprising thing there to me is there wasn't another racing game that came out this year.
Well, yeah, I don't think there was, though, was there?
So this is actual year where a sports game will win, probably, you would imagine. Unless F1 pulls it through. And I guess F1 is technically a sport. Whereas usually, like a Forza or Gran Turismo, it comes out and takes the category.
Yeah, it's weird. Let me point out. So there was no Forza this year, no Need for Speed, no Gran Turismo, no any other.
No The Crew.
No The Crew. Yeah. There you go.
Oh wait, wasn't there The Crew? Wasn't there that smaller Crew game? I can't remember.
Wasn't it DLC or expansion pack? I think it was the expansion pack. Like they added a whole new city or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Oh. Best Sims strategy game: Asian Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kinosami Gami, Path of the Goddess, Mana Lords, Unicorn Overlord. I don't think there's anything shocking there. Best family game: Astro Bot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire. Innovation in accessibility: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws. The only thing that annoys me about this category is like it's the one category that I wish said what. Like because a lot of them are it's like best sim strategy game. It's a sim strategy game. Best innovation and accessibility. I'm like, yeah, but what's the accessibility thing they did? Like, what's the, like at least list one Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I'm like, yeah, what was the innovation?
Just get it a blurb.
Like, just a quick, yeah. Best action game: Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2, Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2, Black Ops 6, Black Myth Wukong. Best fighting game: Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiversus, Tekken 8. Best role-playing game: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio. I mean, you want to save your complaints about it until the game of the
No, I don't have that many complaints about it being an DLC. I just wouldn't put
it as an RPG.
It is an RPG. I'd put it as an action adventure game.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why the fuck it's here in RPG.
I don't know.
Like,
what's the RPG element? You swap out and your gear?
It's like the stats, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like the stats.
But that's like so many games have like leveling
But that's
up.
that's the only thing, right? Is like the stat allocation is the only thing, because it's not like it's a fucking heavy influence narrative. It's not the narrative is not the core of the fucking game. Like,
especially when you compare it to the other 4 games, you're like,
yeah,
not even close to it.
No, exactly, right? Like, I don't like a role playing game is you are supposed to be like in the base factor, you are role playing your part. You are in the role of your character. You're not fucking there pretending to die 20,000 times to the same boss. You're just pressing the buttons, you're rolling, you're slashing, you're stabbing.
Rolling, slashing, and stabbing. Best action adventure game: Elden Ring's not on this list. Astro Bot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I need so fucking badly for Prince of Persia to win this award.
Yeah, it's not going to happen though.
But because it would be fucking hilarious for it to win the award over
Astrobot,
over fucking Star Wars Outlaws, and be like, Ubisoft, you closed down the wrong studio. You shouldn't have closed down any.
But I think if you were to ask people which of those two was more likely to win, it'd be Prince of Persia.
But I mean, we all know it's Astrobot.
Yeah.
Most anticipated: Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Monster Hunter Wilds. I will say, listening back to last week when he was doing the predictions thing and stuff, the fact that neither me or Kieran said Grand Theft Auto 6, but also when Ash said it, he goes, I can't believe neither of you said Grand Theft Auto 5, and Kieran didn't call him out at all. So
I didn't even think I didn't even process it. My brain went to, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Why didn't you say Grand Theft Auto 6?
South of midnight. What are you thinking?
I was sitting in my car listening to it, and I hear him go, none of you said Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm like, yo, Grand Theft Auto 5's out for 10 years, you fuckhead. Content Creator of the Year. I don't know who any of these people are. Casio, Illo Gian, Techno Gamers, Typical Gamers, and Yasada Pecora. Kieran? Do we know any of those people?
Not really, actually. For one side, like, no, maybe I've heard of Typical Gamers, but
Yellow One, or LMD Show, is a Spanish Twitch streamer and YouTuber.
Okay.
Yasada Pecora is a Japanese virtual YouTuber affiliated with Holio Live Productions.
Ooh.
Okay. She looks like a bunny girl.
I've seen that one, actually, yeah.
Yeah. They're the only ones with Wikipedia pages.
Okay, cool. Best VR/AR game: Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, Metro Awakening. Best.
It's an interesting category. Just that Batman Arkham Shadow is the
Batman
just
right kind of clears, right? Like,
but Asgard's Wrath is was getting 10 last year. So
yeah,
but it was so long ago. Are people gonna?
I don't know if more people played that. I reckon more people play Batman and vote for that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
like even amongst the critics, because best debut indie game: Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Pacific Drive, The Plucky Squire. Best independent game: Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Never. UFO 50. See, best independent game, UFO 50 is cheating because it's actually like over 50 games. Right? So,
it's technically in the one package, So
yeah,
there's no rules against the anthology games.
There's no rules in these categories, is what I'm.
We already knew that.
Best multiplayer: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fork Knife, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky.
Can I say one thing about this, right?
Sure.
And this might be a spicy take.
From you.
I know, right? From me. I didn't love Massive Monster tweeting about this afterwards.
Saying what?
Because Massive Monster did a big tweet about, we're really disappointed we didn't get nominated for this. Here's a thread of all the stuff we've done for our community in the last 12 months.
And I'm people?
and I was like, this just feels like it just doesn't. I don't know. Like, I guess for me, I read it very much like it was almost like a sore. I don't want to say sore losers, but it was like you could have just waited and been like, "Hey, congratulations to everybody else. Here's the things we did. We're disappointed we didn't get it." Which they probably did say that, but
I think they are right because how are people voting on this? This is one category I always find very weird. Best community support. So to vote on this, you would have to be heavily involved in said community, or you're judging it based upon like what you're seeing those
what are they getting
doing outwardly on like social media and stuff, right? Because
is it, or is it?
What does that mean?
What does exactly mean? Yeah.
If it's not voted on that, then it's like how fast it takes you to get a ticket resolved on their fucking website, right? But how are the people deciding this?
And
that's like you can look up who's involved. Like we've got you have like Press Start and whatever else like involved. Like nothing against them, but I'm just like when you see this list and go, you're voting on best community support. In your mind, I'd like to know what people are thinking and picturing when they're voting, because it's either one of two ways. It's the you could vote for Massive Monster because they have done a lot of community based things this year that you've outwardly seen them post on social media.
Okay, hang on. So the description on the Game Awards website is recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates/patches. I feel like a lot of these are more heavily on the second thing there.
So how often they patch their game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or how big an update, or how free stuff is.
Well, Stalker 2 is
how much they let you know about their plans and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Because No Man's Sky is on here every year.
I mean, they're constantly updating the game with patches. It seems to be patched every, or updated, I guess, every 3 months or something.
Baldur's Gate 3? Is that still getting heavily patched?
I don't know if it'll be up next year, but it obviously did have its like big final patch this year.
Okay. Yeah, it's just that's always a category I'm like, I don't really get this one.
No, but I can understand Kieran's point of like, it's kind of weird for a studio to come out and say, hey, we should have been nominated. We've been screwed. I saw another developer for a strategy game that was snubbed, despite being higher rating on OpenCritic and Metacritic than some of the other categories.
Was it Tactical Breach Wizards?
No.
Oh.
But yeah, he was pretty, upset. It seems from his lengthy thread. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not great.
This is also the downside. This is also the problem with people putting so much on this particular award show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I mean, this is the one that gets the most recognition. It can potentially boost sales for like an indie team. I'm sure all those indie award nominees, like, got a significant boost in sales this weekend.
Significant, I'm sure. Yeah, just by the nominee.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the one that really surprised me was No Max Mustard. No Max Mustard in VR.
Well, it was a pretty strong category, I guess.
Still, that's
it did. Yeah, like it did review well. Maybe it's not as big. Well, it's because these fucking remakes,
I'm like, have I seen?
I guess remake is fine.
Talked about more because it's an Australian.
Yeah, probably. Like,
but games for impact. Closer the Distance, Indica, Never, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Tales, Gonzara, Zal.
I've seen people kind of making jokes about this one. Like, what's the impact of Life is Strange Double Exposure?
Well,
other than it being a Life is Strange game and the characters game.
Hold on.
It does seem like these kinds of games, like Life is Strange, the other Deck 9 one they released a couple of years ago, I guess that one had a trans character at the very least in it as a lead. But like, come on. Like,
I don't know, is that the minimum requirement? It's got queer characters? Is that enough of an impact?
Well, it deals with tornadoes.
This one?
Yeah, spoilers.
Wow, okay. She's unlucky with the wind, huh?
Yeah, crazy. It was a Twisters tie-in.
Oh.
Yeah, cross promotion. Didn't see it coming.
Crazy, because it's not Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
It's from Vermont?
No, we're not in Kansas anymore, for sure. Best Narrative, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, ReFantazio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. Yep. Best Adaptation, the category I didn't think would come back, but it did. Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, Tomb Raider, Legend of Lara Croft.
I will say I nailed this category.
They did the category just to award Arcane. Yep.
I would argue Arcane should not have been eligible.
Well, they probably
you would assume when the nominations were made,
no one had watched it.
Either nobody watched it, or at least they may have seen the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And it could have shit about in the last 3 episodes,
Jeff does what Jeff wants,
Jeff, Jeff claims he doesn't have any control of these nominees, but, he does. But we all know the real reason that Arcane was smashed in, so they didn't have to nominate Borderlands.
I mean, to be honest, when you asked the question, and I was thinking, I'm like, there's not that much video game stuff out this year, surely, but there's more than I
just enough to scrape the category together.
Yeah, just enough to scrape. A lot of mid stuff. That said, like, I still want to watch Knuckles. I still want to check out Like a Dragon. Tomb Raider was decent. Fallout was decent. Oh, yeah.
Fallout was Emmy nominated. I mean,
yeah, decent. Best audio design: Astro Bot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. Best score and music: Astro Bot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, Stellar Blade. Best art direction: Astro Bot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor ReFantazio, never. Best mobile game, AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero. But, well, I mean, yeah. Good for you, Balatro. Best performance, Brianna White, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannah Tell, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Humbly Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2, Melanie Juergens, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Now, Brianna White just won at the Joystick Awards. So, I don't know if that's the
Golden Globes apparent.
Golden Globes apparent, yeah. So best ongoing game, Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2. Best game direction, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Urn Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, ReFantazio, and Game of the Year nominees, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Urn Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, ReFantazio. I can't remember exactly what I said. That's why I need you to go back.
So I've gone back. So I
feel like I was pretty fucking close.
I had 9 questions. The first one is the number of Game Award nominees.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Kieran both got 3. Dylan got 5. And then of the other 8 questions, Dylan got 6 correct. I got 5 correct, and Kieran got 2 correct.
I felt like I did good in this one. I felt confident. I felt quite good.
Yeah.
So, because I'm pretty sure I got nearly all the Game of the Year nominees and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Only you said Silent Hill 2.
Yeah. Instead of what?
Black Myth.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't have. That wasn't even on your radar.
Wasn't even on my radar, true. I think when I picked Silent Hill 2, I was like scrambling my brain for a game, and I was like, what other games exist? Silent Hill.
I mean, I think the more impressive thing is you said Elden Ring before the news broke that, it was before they foreshadowed that it was probably going to get nominated.
I know how shit's going to play out, man. I sensed it on the waves. I mean, my 2 cents on it is I don't really care. I think it's their award show, right? So whatever you want to make your rules, that's their rules, right? Do I personally feel like if this was like Explosion Network's nominees, would I allow Elden Ring Shadow of the Urn Tree? I would be saying, I don't like the idea of that.
But then, this is where my thought process came undone previously.
Yeah, you fucked me is what I found out.
So we've allowed we allowed Final Fantasy 14 and Walker.
Yeah.
Which
that was a mistake.
Is that now retroactively? Is that now a mistake or?
It's not retroactively a mistake because I'm not going to go back and fix it. But,
I'm saying, like,
we've done lots of things in the past.
In future, that's like a weird grey area, then, right?
Well, I mean, last year we had an expansion / DLC category, so
yeah.
I don't know if we're doing one this year. Probably not.
No, I skipped it because I don't feel like there was enough.
Because none of us played.
No, but I at the end of the day, I feel like, be it the Game Awards, be it IGN, GameSpot, Polygon, Empire Magazine, whatever. They're rules, right? Everyone does their whatever, and people are getting like up in arms about this and being like, "You can't do that." It's like, well, they can. Like, you could be like, I don't personally feel like I would do that if it was my list.
Yeah,
but it's his show, so he can do whatever he wants, and I'm like, I don't really care. I do think the only thing it says to me is it's a sad state of affairs when that's like one of the Game of the Year nominees.
To me, it's like then it's almost like, oh, it's been a bad year.
Yeah.
Or people just love Elden Ring that much.
So that's the thing. As I said last week, like it's what is your definition of Game of the Year? Is it the best game or is it the game that defined the year? Because the game that defined the year in retroactive, Nah, I think the thing that defined culturally was Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, sadly.
But did it define the culture, or has the culture just been Elden Ring for the last 3 years?
No, because Elden Ring wasn't the culture last year.
I don't imagine a culture where there was no Elden Ring part of the culture.
Yeah, there was always something about it.
No, but it
somebody
wasn't like
was
there was
Elden Ring
something
all the
short
time.
thing, but like it wasn't like the largest defining part of the culture for the year. Which I do think Elden Ring in terms of gaming, because there's been nothing bigger to dislodge it from being that.
I in this particular list, I do think like having it in the like if you put it in that best action adventure game category and being like a little bit more loosey goosey with the like allowing expansions in those subcategories, I'm like, okay, that doesn't really bother. It's just like game of the year. I'm like, in my mind, I'm always like, it's best new game, best game that was released.
But that's the thing is that what
best game that didn't require 160 hours and another $60
but
barrier of entry.
What is the Game Awards definition of game of the year? What is their?
Unless you have the website up, Ash. Or?
Yeah, I was going to say. You read us what they said.
Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields.
So there's nothing there about being new. There's nothing there about it being a separate thing. There's nothing there about it being
fine. Let's nominate Crash Tag Team Racing.
If it was good,
like I said, freaking Last of Us 2 Remastered has been robbed. It should be in a bunch of categories. It is still an incredible narratively, but I would imagine it would still beat a bunch of those narrative categories. Right?
No, not a chance.
It would beat at least one of those and be able to get eligible, you know.
No, I don't.
Based on the original narrative, even from the previous version of the game.
What do you reckon? Does it win?
I think it will, sadly.
I don't know. I feel like the vote is going to be so split this year that, you know, it could go anyway. I think there are a lot of people who don't think it should be eligible.
I don't think
what are they going to get behind?
As easily if Final Fantasy VII released in the later part of the year. My thing is, even though I know Final Fantasy VII Rebirth swept pretty well at the Golden Joysticks, sorry.
Golden Joy-Cons.
Fuck my life. The Golden Joysticks. I know it swept and did pretty well there. But
I mean, it got mostly supporting lead-up performance. Other than that, best soundtrack. That was it.
Okay. Like I just think if
best storytelling as well, sorry.
Yeah. Like I think if that game was sooner and more people were playing it in the last month, I think that would have a better chance of rocking Elden Ring. I just think nothing has achieved on the scale of Elden Ring this year since Elden Ring launched. Like it's been really cool. Like Metaphor, my game of the year probably. Like that game has been massive and that game was huge, but it's not Elden Ring huge. Call of Duty sells a lot of numbers, but it's Call of Duty. So the people voting on these don't kind of buy into it. Like various other, like every other game that's probably released since Elden Ring has not had, once again, the cultural impact that Elden Ring has.
But is it cultural impact? No. It's what game is best.
But you would say that the game that is best has the most cultural impact.
No. I would not say that.
I reckon Balatro wins.
I think yeah, anything could happen pretty much.
I don't. I think Balatro is the least likely to win out of them.
Least likely to win.
Mm-hmm.
Not based on all the memes I've seen this week.
I think people are wanting it because the general audience would lose their fucking minds.
No, I think
it's between Balatro and Wukong for the least likely to win.
No. I think Black Myth Wukong won the ultimate game at the Golden Joysticks, which is a player voted game award show. we already know that it's got a massive Chinese audience, which probably helped with those numbers. But do they come and all like do a massive vote here in the Game Awards for Black Myth Wukong, trying to put it over the top? And how much? Obviously, it's only 10% of the vote. But could that be enough to put it over the top? I don't know. I think I think Metaphor is probably the one that's going to be the least likely.
I also think Metaphor is the least likely, and then I'd put Final Fantasy above that.
You think Metaphor sold better than Balatro did?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking about like it's so
Balatro's got that addictive quality as well.
It's just so niche. I don't know if all the people voting have played it.
But I think Balatro is more niche than Memento.
Balatro is like one of the most played games.
It's also been out for so long, and the word of mouth has been
January.
out.
Like
people aren't talking about it.
I have, but I just don't think it's. I don't think like it's the week of it being launched. Like Memento, Metaphor, Memento, fucking Metaphor. You know, was everywhere. Like it had the massive sales.
Here's what I reckon. I reckon that I don't know if they vote using like a number system. I reckon Balatro is on so many people's like third slot, and they're like the number 1s and 2s are so varied that Balatro wins because of that. If that makes sense. Like I reckon you'll have people putting like Elden Ring and Black Myth, and then you'll have some other people putting like Metaphor and shit. And then all those types of people are all also putting Balatro in the middle, and then Balatro just wins. Because it's the one consistency. And I don't reckon Astrobot stands a chance because I reckon a lot of people are like, yeah, it was really good, but, you know, it's just a platformer. It was just a platformer. So actually, I would say Astrobot's the least likely to win, to be honest.
I mean, I guess it depends on how the voting is done. And I'm not seeing any explanation of how the process is done.
No, I don't think they've ever said. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they use like a numbered system or like
Jeff, let us know. Like, what's the process? Is it preferential? Or is it you just vote for your favorite?
If it's one vote only, then yeah.
If it's one vote only, I think Astrobot is definitely out of the running. But I could see it getting lots of 2s and 3s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What shall I say?
I mean, none of it matters because, well, I mean, this matters, but because it's one of the only awards that is actually going to be presented. You know.
Depending on how this year goes, Game of the Year might be the only show that's presented live on stage.
The only award, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Hey, did you fix it or what?
I'm just gonna restart my PC and hopefully that fixes it because, like, I'm not even in a family for me. Like, I can't even get to the setting.
Yeah.
Have you closed the Xbox app and opened it back up?
Yes, and I've reset it and I've signed out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done all that shit. So I'm hoping just a restart of my computer fixes it.
Okay. That's crazy.
If that doesn't, I'll just
log a support ticket. Be like, the fuck. Yeah.
And then rate their community service.
I don't know if Xbox in general can be up for the community.
Why not? All right, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I'll have my review up. Hopefully by the time you're reading this. Listening to this. I'm giving it an 8.5. I think it's probably the best Call of Duty that we've had in years for a number of things. So the campaign is really, really good, and I had a great time with it. And the multiplayer with the new omnidirectional movement system is just injected a whole new ultra fast paced nature to a shooter that was already super ultra fast paced. So, and zombies is zombies, but they're the two things I mean, to be honest, zombies is like, they the only thing they changed between games, as far as I'm aware, is they've went back to round based zombies, and I'm like, cool story. All right, so the campaign takes place chronologically after the Cold War game, which I enjoyed. Call of Duty Cold War, I thought that was a decent one. But I think what the story's nonsensical if you can keep up with it. It's literally just secret organization called Pantheon. They're going to do some big bad thing. You've gone rogue with a group of other people, and you're trying to track them down. But what makes the campaign so good in this one is there's 11 missions, and I honestly don't think any single one of the missions felt the same, which helped keep the campaign really I would play next mission. And I didn't, it didn't feel like you were just going corridor shooter sort of element, there's even a level without fully spoiling it. There's a level in this, and Black Ops games usually have some level of weird to them. They're the Call of Duty games where they'll do weird shit in them, be it time travel or psychedelic weird shit that happens sometimes. And there's a level in this where they pretty much turn it into a survival horror game for an entire level, and I was like, sure, fucking why not? So that was a lot of fun. But I mean, you'll have other ones. There's a really cool level where you've basically got to infiltrate this casino, and it does this the first half of the mission. It'll keep swapping you between the characters, all 5 characters. Someone's dressed up as a waitress, another character's pretending to be the person who's fixing the pokey machines, another one of their characters has got getting themselves captured so they can break out later, and everyone's got their job, so it's sort of this Ocean's 11 team, and it does a really good job at swinging out and switching you between the characters, and you control them between things. And Woods, who's in every Black Ops game, I think, even though he got put in a wheelchair a couple of games ago, but he's still fucking out here kicking ass. He's narrating and all, and yeah, that was really cool. And then at the end, once you get what you want, then suddenly then it's no longer Ocean's 11 because you have this massive shootout to escape the casino. But every mission just felt really different. There's another one where you're in Iraq, and it's it's an open map level where you can jump in a Jeep and you can just drive around the dunes, and you've got all these secondary objectives on the map that you can stop and do if you want, or you can just leg it to the 3 main objectives on the map. I chose to do every single secondary objective, just stop and take down these little camps and stuff like that. And then by the time I got to the end of that mission, which was this big raid on a encampment, because I'd done all the secondary objectives, I had all the access to all these other mortar strikes and stuff like that you wouldn't have done if you'd chosen to do them all. So it rewards you for doing different stuff. It's also a game where, and I didn't believe it at first, to be honest, but it proved me wrong, where from the second you start the first mission, it's the voice in your ear and your earpiece or whatever is you can do it loud or you can do it quiet. And it's usually there's always one way to do these fucking missions. You don't actually have a choice here. But every time you go into a level, you do have a choice. I mean, I don't really want to sneak around stealth in a Call of Duty game, to be completely honest. It's an action movie. I just want to go guns blazing. But you have all these options to sneak around and do the levels stealth if you so wish. If you just go guns blazing, it just adapts to that, and then the mission plays out that way. So I thought it was a really, really solid campaign. I will say though, it sort of takes the wind out of it in the last, right at the end. It sort of just ends, and I'm okay, that didn't what happened to that character? What's happening here? Just suddenly the credits are rolling. And the only thing I fear for this that's sort of annoying is, and I put it in my review, is they have this thing that fucking Call of Duty games do, and they did it with the last one, where instead of teasing and being yeah, I'll get really excited for the next Call of Duty game, Black Ops 7, that'll be exciting to see the continued story of what's going on here. They'll be yeah, so the story is now continuing in Warzone, which is what they did after. There was a teaser at the end of Cold War, and it was just this story that they put in the fucking Warzone with cutscenes you had to unlock by doing missions and stuff. I'm I don't want to do that. I'm here playing the single player campaign, and you're trying to make those players go play Warzone. They're very different player bases usually. Some people just want to play the single player game. Multiplayer, yeah, it's all about the movement system. There's no huge changes to everything from the gun barracks, gunsmith, and all of that shit hasn't changed at all, at least as far as I'm aware. The maps I don't hate any of the maps, but there's no craziness in the modes or what's here. It is all about just how the movement system works. And that's what they've been talking about since they announced the game. And it feels really good. I really like it. So if you've missed it, they've called it the omnidirectional movement system, which is basically now you can run in any direction. So you can sprint sideways, you can sprint backwards. If you sprint backwards and like hold down circle, you'll like dive backwards. If you sprint to your left and hold down circle, you'll dive to your right. It also means that, and this is very like obviously circumstantial, but it literally means that you can run towards the edge of a cliff or something like a ledge. You can dive off it mid-air. You can swing around, shoot someone. You land on your back on the ground, and you can still swing around prone in a full 360 motion for the first time in a Call of Duty game. So that means you can land prone and just start shooting on your back everywhere around you. Like it just feels a lot looser than you've ever felt in a Call of Duty game. That you can, once you start sliding, I'm sliding everywhere, baby. I'm sliding and shooting, sliding, diving and shooting left, right, and center. It's also a thing where it's like if you're like anywhere near any of our ages and you're like, man, now's the time to get into Call of Duty multiplayer. Good luck, because like if it wasn't fast paced enough, now you've got motherfuckers just sliding all over the place, diving left, right, and center. Like it is. Like they've just made it faster paced. I will say, if you've played like Titanfall, Apex Legends, a Doom game, anything that has like a faster movement system in it, or with particular characters and stuff, you should be able to adapt to this if you're used to old Call of Duty. Because like Call of Duty is fast, but it's just the options you've got to move around now just make it feel so much faster. I think, but I really enjoy it. I think it's good, and I mean it carries over for all the modes. So even when you do jump into zombies, if I'm saying zombies doesn't feel that different, it's because again they've just put so much effort in the development time into this movement system. So it's like, yeah, zombies are zombies, but again, it's zombies where you can be laying prone and you can shoot a zombie 180 degrees behind you and then quickly swing around and shoot again in front of you without having to like stand up and switch fucking prone positions and stuff, which it sounds silly, but it is a game changer, like for what you can do in a game like this. But yeah, 8.5, read for a review if you want, but I would really, really recommend it. And
one minor thing
it's on Game Pass. So
yeah, it's on Game Pass. Yeah. I did start playing this a little while ago.
Yeah,
when it first came out on Game Pass, single player.
Yeah.
I only played a couple missions because it has that hub mansion section, and I spent far too long walking around that place.
Yeah, you go there between every mission, so
yeah, no, I spent a lot of time in between the first and the second mission just walking around with the black light, looking at all and like working out the puzzles and stuff that I could so far. Yeah.
So instead of playing more missions, you've just
yes, yep,
that makes sense. Yep. What's the last Call of Duty game you played? I can't remember the last time you've ever said you played a Call of Duty game, to be honest.
It would be like a Black Ops, but like maybe like Black Ops
Generation
3.
Ago.
Yeah, it'd be like Black Ops 3 or something. I think it was Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you at least recognize Woods?
Somewhat, yeah.
Well, he's in a wheelchair now, but yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah.
I mean, it's the same. That's the only character I feel like I think that's in it from then. Do you try any multiplayer?
No.
Baby.
But that's the thing. That's why I was like, bruv, when I saw you uploaded a clip on Twitter, I was like, was anybody else playing with you? Where was the...
No, I was playing by myself.
Where was the invite? Where was
I didn't expect you to play Call of Duty.
Like, no, but once again, for either Ash or me, just be like, hey, do either you guys want to play this? I'm playing this multiplayer. It'd be nice if the invite was there.
Well, Ash, I'd have to give 2 weeks heads up so I can install the game.
That's fair. That's different. But fuck, you know.
Well, yeah, we can play some more. I've still got it. I enjoy it. Multiplayer. I'm going to play a bit more, I reckon. So, and it's crossplay. So, welcome to the future, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of Arcade Couch. Of course, let us know any comments, questions, opinions, and things that you've got on stuff that we've talked about this week. What your thoughts are on the Game Awards? Should DLC be nominated. Who cares? Don't actually answer that question. I don't care what your opinion is. We'll see you here next week. Same time, same couch. Turn your parental locks off. Goodbye.